Good morning. Good morning. It's your girl Tanisha. Your name is Inspiration. We are here. We are back with another episode of Morning Inspiration with Friends. Yes. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there right now as we are starting. Um, my area is currently and we're receiving tornado warnings. So if by any chance we get disconnected, it is because we are possibly either lost power, which I'm praying against, or we had the worst, a tornado. So we're going to pray against both of those right now because I don't want to experience neither one of them. But yeah, so I like to put that disclaimer out. If you are here, this is your first time, stay, get your tea, get your coffee, get you some water, whatever you desire at this moment. And it doesn't matter if you're not even watching this in the morning time. This message is going to be a great message. This is something that actually I had conversations with many years ago. I was just going through some old videos and this topic came up. And I felt like because we were just talking about assignments yesterday, I said, let me just add this because this is going to be equally as important, if anything. So I was asked some time ago, like I said, I found this topic in one of my old videos that I did. And when I was talking about assignments, someone kept confusing, and I can understand why they confused this. They kept confusing, their purpose with their assignments. And they felt like, well, aren't they the same thing? And they're not. I know that many of times that we as speakers, we might speak as if they are the same. But, I realize we got to be very careful about the words that we use because words have meanings. And if we don't use them properly, we could confuse the masses. So I don't want to be a part of that confusion. So we're going to have this conversation. Before we really dive in, hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, share it to your stories. We're going to be here for, I'm anticipating 15, 20 minutes. But yeah, so let's talk about this, right? So what is the difference between purpose and assignment? So our purpose is a part of our calling, right? The big calling over our life. That is what our purpose is. And so what I wrote down, I was like, assignments are like the things that we need to do along the journey of us living in our purpose. People that live in their purpose, that understand their purpose, they understand that, right now in this season or this day or this task that I'm being given by God, it's not saying that this is a part of my purpose, but this is just something that I need to do along the way. It's a part of the journey. Some of your assignments will have absolutely nothing to do with your purpose. Nothing at all, right? You'll just be out here just doing these random tasks that God is assigning you to do. Okay. And we have to be extremely careful. These are the assignments that God is putting on your heart. And those might really be the things that don't make sense. So you might have a great understanding of your purpose. You might be like, I know my purpose is this makes sense. It falls into line. And then God starts to give you these assignments. And you're like, but this has nothing to do with my purpose. But those are the assignments. That means that right now God needs for you to do whatever this may be. And it could be something small. It might seem small as making a phone call. I don't know if y'all ever seen those stories. I used to see them years ago. I haven't seen them too often on my timeline where someone will be like, in the middle of the night, God told them to get up and go buy milk and diapers. And they didn't have children. So they're like, why would I get up in the middle of the night going to the store to go buy milk and diapers when I don't have children? I don't know anyone close to me that has children. And but you become so obedient that you're just like, you know what, God, I'm going to trust you. And you go to the store, you get this milk, you get these Pampers. God will even tell you what size Pampers to get, because that's how awesome our God is. And then you move forward and you start driving and God starts giving you the directions. God might give you the address. And if you're obedient, you drive to the address in the middle of the night with this milk and these Pampers. And I remember seeing one of those stories, and I think it was like the mom that was in need was about to leave her house with her kids because she needed to go out and I don't know, I think it was like find money to get the Pampers or the milk, or she was going out to go buy it and try to see if she can get the store clerk. I forget how that story goes, but I do believe that those situations do tend to happen a lot often than we actually um, admit to, because it's very weird when you start telling people these things who don't believe. And I do believe in us sharing those assignments stories, because people need to understand, like, that's how God operates. That's how God gets us to the point where we just trust him, because we're just like, all right, God told me to do this. I remember one time I had a dream. Now, I met this young lady two times. She was a client of my ex-boyfriend's, so we were at least mutually we were associates. We had followed one another on social media, and one day I had this dream, and she was like so clear in my dream, and I was just like, God, wow, like, why you have me having this dream about this person? Like, I had no ill feelings towards her, but it was just weird that God was having me to have a dream about her, and God was like, tell her the dream. And I was just like, now that's weird. You want me to just randomly hit somebody up who I have like really no true connection with, and to tell them this dream that I had about them? Now, it was nothing sexual or anything. It was nothing like that. But it was a dream that I didn't feel comfortable. And so after going back and forth, I finally was like, you know what, screw it. I told the person, I hit them up on Instagram, and I was like, hey, this is what I had a dream about. And I was told, God told me to tell you about this dream. What I didn't know was that this person was over in wherever they were, praying for clarity about what they should be doing next, praying for clarity about what type of project they are a musician and a singer, and I guess they was praying about what that next project should look like. Should they go back to instruments that they were playing when they were younger, or should they just focus on the actual vocal part? The dream had them, when I saw them in the dream, they was playing an instrument. And so when I shared the dream, they were like, oh my gosh, I needed that clarification. I needed this information. Thank you so much. Like, you literally just answered my prayers. That's how I look at assignments. Okay. Assignments is going to just be, you're going to help someone to get to take the next step, right? Or you just can literally just be that person that is going to be a sounding board, someone that's going to show them empathy or sympathy that they need, or is just going to be a blessing to you in some capacity. So I hope that is clear. Like, your purpose, my purpose is to go out here and to inspire people. But sometimes I will get those assignments where it's just going to be like, yeah, I need you to call this person and tell them this. I need you to go to this event, and you're going to go there, and you don't know why you're going to this event, but I'm going to put a seed in you to give to that person, or I'm going to give you a message so that you can release and give it to that person. So that is what I want us to understand, knowing the difference between your purpose and understanding that we all have assignments every single day. We are all given assignments. A lot of us just ignore those assignments. We do not want those assignments, so we do not even entertain it because it's out of our comfort zone. And I mean, I get it. Like, I totally understand how people feel about that. It's, in the beginning, it definitely scared me. And now I'm just to the point where I'm like, all right, God, this is just who I am. And I'm going to accept it. And I'm going to just keep riding out with you, because he's going to keep leading me in the right direction. So the second thing is that the unexpected assignments are going to shape you, right? This is your character development. This is where you're going to get your personal development, your growth development skills, because now you're going to start seeing. Sometimes God is going to work on you with your kindness, with you being generous, with your faith, right? This is going to build you up as a person. when you are taking on those different assignments. When you start to walk and listen to God, you will also start to hear what is not your assignments. Now, that's something that many people tend to ignore. Some people just want to be, they want their hands in everything. They want to receive recognition and credit for every single thing that they're doing. So they would try to do all the assignments, even the ones that are not assigned to them. But that's also disobedience, because if God tells you don't do that and you go and do it because I want to be the queen, I want to be the Captain Saver, and God is like, I don't need that. I just need you to do what I instructed you to do and how I instructed you to do it. So that's what I want some people to do. So I want you to understand that sometimes that God's going to place you in situations that just do not seem to fit your vision for your life, right? So that's why we always say when we get away from our vision and we get into God's vision, this is where we're going to be in good graces, right? So it's going to have things to do with things on your job. It's going to have things to do with relationships or friendships. And those seasons are going to definitely help you as you are building and you're growing. So I want you to realize that, those assignments are going to build, like I said earlier, it's going to build your faith. I think that's the number one thing. It's something about hearing someone say, oh my gosh, I was just praying about this. Like, people need to hear that, because I think so many times people don't believe that our prayers are being answered, right? People really don't believe that God is listening to them. And people don't believe that God is using others to bless them. Like, I think the mindset that a lot of Christians have, especially, is that, God is going to save me, right? But we just expect him to like put his hand out from the sky and come down and save us. But he needs to use the people that are here, right? Whether you know them or not. So that's why, thank you, Lord. That's why there's been a saying going around. I see why God took me here. There's been like this meme going around for the last couple of years, and it really irritates me because it's many of the times it's Christians that are posting it, and you probably have seen it. So just drop in the chat, drop a one if you've seen one of these posts that sounds something like this. When they needed help, I was there to help them. But now when I need help, they're not there to help me. Have you ever heard that saying? When I needed help, when they needed help, I was there to help them. But now when I need help, they're not there to help me. If you ever heard that saying, someone posted that on social media and you probably got excited. Yes, that's right. No, that's wrong. When we understand assignments, if God told you to go help someone, right? That was your assignment. You was given instructions. And if you did it because you were being obedient to God, then you did right. If you did it and it was not instructions from God, then you just did it because you wanted credit for something that had nothing to do with you. Right? It's a nice gesture. But what a lot of people tend to do is that they go out here and they try to get credit for things that God already said, I didn't even tell you to do that. Okay? So now you're in a situation and now you're expecting the people that you helped, that you blessed, to turn around and be that same blessing to you. That might not be how God sets it up. 9 times out of 10, and we're going to keep it a buck, the people that you were helping, when it's your time for needed help, they might not still be in a position to even help themselves. Like, we got to be honest. Like, we have to be honest here. The people that you helped, 9 times out of 10 still might not be in a position to help you because they still cannot help themselves. What you have to come to the terms of understanding is that you have to wait for the people that are assigned to do what they were called to do. So this is why we need to be out here praying for each other, because I want everyone to hear God for themselves so that they can get their instructions and they can go out there and execute for their assignments. That's what I want people to get to a point of. Because that is going to help us to move along. If you really did whatever God told you to do and you was a blessing to those individuals, do not turn around in your season and bash those same people because they are not assigned to help you. You need to now wait and look for the help from the people that God is sending and is assigning to your situation. We got to get out this mindset. What I did for you, so you should do for me. I had to learn that. When I was in my season of need, those people that showed up for me, I had to receive that. And when I was in a position to do better, I had to listen for the people that God was telling me to be a blessing to. And it was not always those same people. So I don't know where we get that mindset from, but it's also because it's a lack of understanding of your assignment. You think everyone is your assignment, and you think that because you're in a season of need, that those people are now automatically assigned to you. That is not how it works. This is the reason why God has 8 billion people on this earth, and he can use any one of those 8 billion people to help you in that season of need. And it's not going to be anyone that you have ever helped before. And I know you don't want to hear that. I know you don't like that. You want the people that you've helped to now turn around. But if you look at those people that you have helped, how many of them are really in the position to help you? You were probably able to give them $500. Now you need $5,000. Do you really expect them to have $5,000 to give to you? When I was in my financial crisis, over the years prior to that, I had helped people. None of the people that I had ever helped previously was capable of helping me because I needed over $5,000. And God had to put me in position of someone brand new that I did not know prior to this experience. And that person was the person to bless me with the $5,000. So I could not be resentful to friends, to family members who did not have it. They did not have the capability. This is what's going to help us with our character, because a lot of you are walking around here with resentment, anger, frustration, and aggravation towards people who you have to understand God is not going to give them the assignment to help you. You need to wait for the people that God has assigned. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's going to help. That's going to help you with your faith. Last thing, because we are definitely going over it. How to navigate an assignment that feels misaligned. Now, this one again, because if you are fully focusing only on purpose, you're like, this is my purpose. I know my purpose. My purpose is this. I'm supposed to do X, Y, Z. And everything that I do on my purpose is going to be aligned with this. Absolutely not. Those assignments are going to sometimes show up. And they're going to look like raking leaves for your neighbor, taking out your neighbor's trash because your neighbor is sick. It might be going to the soup kitchen. You might be a math person doing math problems with kids, and that's your purpose, is to teach them this math. But God said today your assignment is going to be going to the soup kitchen. We got to get to a space where we start to ask God, okay, use me in any way that you want to use me, right? And then we have to ask God, show me what I need to learn in this experience. There might be something that you're going to be learning. It's going to be something that you might be teaching someone. Like, we just never know, right? Over the weekend, I was in Dallas with my sister, and we went to Bath and Body Works. Now, this is a store, body shop, right? Body products. While I'm over here talking to this girl about her finances, talking to her, because she was in the lack mindset. because we had mentioned like, oh yeah, we just came from a concert the night before, and she was like, oh, I can never go to a concert because I can never. And I just had to speak life into her. First of all, you got to change your mindset. You are speaking words. You are speaking defeat. You are speaking lack. I said, so yeah, you're right. You're never gonna go to a concert if you have that kind of mindset. So you have to. And I just spoke, and Miss Inspiration just came out, and I just poured and I deposited, and then I just went about my business. Right here, it was in the middle of a store, just doing that. I didn't know why I needed to go into that store because I really didn't want to go into it because I'm not a big Bath and Body Works, and they don't have a sell on candles. So I'm not going if you don't got to sell on candles. That's the only time that I want to be in it. Right? So I want you to get to a place where you just start asking God, like, when am I supposed to learn in this? What's gonna, like, give me a heads up. And I mean, he's not gonna give you a heads up 9 times out of 10. You're just gonna have to go through the experience. But you're gonna go through that experience, and when you leave, as long as you're open, you're going to receive some kind of clarity. Some kind of answer is going to pop up. Something is going to now make sense, and you're going to realize, okay, this made sense. I understand why I needed to be here. I understand why this still mattered and why you wanted me to come to this particular fill in the blank event, space, location, store. And you're going to realize it might be a part of your purpose, and it just might be simply, you might just be there to do something else to show that, what God hears them. And I know that so many times that's one of the hardest things. So that's why I said sometimes we need to hear, oh my gosh, I've just been praying about that. Right? I've had those moments, and I tell people, I always think about, I had no food in my house, literally like no food. And I sat on the side of my bed and I prayed, and I was like, God, I just need some money for groceries. Like, please, Lord, I just need some money for groceries. And I'm just up there. I was like, I said, Lord, if you send me this money for groceries, I promise you, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to buy healthy foods. I'm not going to buy the unhealthy foods. God, please just send me the money for some groceries. Right? That was my prayer. That was a prayer that I prayed. And the next morning I woke up, someone sent me $50. And the memo says for groceries. And I just text that person and was like, I literally just prayed to God last night for money for groceries. Like, literally. Before I went to bed. And here I wake up to $50. That added faith to that person. That added faith to me. Because now I'm like, all right, God, you really be hearing me. But sometimes that person probably just didn't realize like why they was getting that feeling, right? Sometimes I'll be getting them feelings. God be like, send so-and-so $50. And I'm like, wow. But I won't say why. And I will say why, but I will do it. And then next thing you know, I'll get a message. Oh my gosh, I needed $30 for gas, and I needed lunch money. And oh my gosh, you just answered my prayers. I'll give it back to you. No. This is a blessing. I don't need it back. I understood the assignment and I just did it. So that's why I want y'all to get to. If y'all don't understand anything about these morning sessions, it's to get you closer to having those intimate conversation with God, to having those conversations with him so that you can hear for yourself, so that you can really understand what you're supposed to be doing next, the next moment. And it's not going to be perfect all the time. I guarantee you. Sometimes you're going to fall short. Sometimes you're going to be like, did I hear that correctly? And there's nothing wrong with saying, God, you sure? But if you know that this is something, yeah, I need you to go here. I need you to do this. I need you to give somebody $20. Like, I want you to get to a space where you hear it for yourself and not what someone else told you. And I ain't going to bring up what just happened not too long ago where people wasn't hearing for themselves and they was being told what to do. And now they felt manipulated. I'm just saying, we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that. Okay. Shh. Quiet. So, yeah. So, I want to stop here. Again, we're back here. I'm happy that we made it through without losing any power. For those of you that are just joining, I'm in Tulsa and we are under tornado warnings. I think we are officially out of it now. Let's see. No, we have tornado watch. So we at least have tornado watch until 10 a.m. So keep me in prayers, keep Tulsa in prayers, keep Oklahoma in prayers right now because we're just overall. But I hope that this message has been very informative for you. It has helped you understand like every assignment is not going to be your purpose. Instagram, Instagram, Instagram. The recordings are not going to be on Instagram. I will be posting the link to YouTube, so you can go to my YouTube channel if you are watching late. But yes, everyone else, the recordings are going to be up Facebook and on YouTube. And I am just excited. And I thank you all for being here. Have an amazing day with purpose, on purpose. And I love you. You know, God loves you as well. Have a good one.